Hello students. So today we will see how to check the gear design in case of bending. We already discussed about beam strength equation. What is that equation? Beam strength equation is FA is equal to sigma B into B into M into Y, where sigma B is bending stress, B is face width of the gear tooth, M is module, Y is Lewis form factor. Okay. Now, if we consider this equation, this sigma B value depends on material. That is, sigma B is equal to SUT upon 3. This B is called as face width. This face width B is constant for both the gears, pinion as well as gear. So his face width distance is same. Then module M is also same in case of pinion as well as gear. If we see the equation of y is equal to 0.484 minus 2.87 upon z. Now, in this formula, these two terms are variable terms depending on the situations. For example, if we consider sigma B is equal to SUT upon 3, that is ultimate tensile strength upon 3. This SUT value depends on material selection. If we consider the material different in pinion as well as gear, then in this situation SUT value becomes changed. So in this case, SUT for pinion is different and SUT for gear is different, and so that this sigma B for pinion is different and sigma B for gear is different. Due to this reason, we take sigma B is one of the deciding factor which is weaker, pinion or gear, in case of bending failure. If we see the second equation, that is y is equal to 0.484 minus 2.87 upon z, here also y factor depends on the number of teeth. We already know that pinion having the diameter less, so less number of teeth are available on pinion. If we consider the number of teeth on gear, the number of teeth on gear is maximum. Okay, so due to this reason, number of teeth is the deciding factor. In this case, YB is equal to 0.484 minus 2.87 upon ZB, and YG is equal to 0.484 minus 2.87 upon ZD. Okay, now for deciding in case of bending which is weaker, okay, so we find out sigma B into Y for pinion, sigma B into Y for gear. So sigma B into Y for pinion means sigma B pinion into Lewis form factor for pinion, and sigma B gear into Lewis form factor for gear. In this case, we assume that material is different. As material is different, then sigma B value is different for pinion as well as gear. And as pinion is smaller size and gear is big size, so number of teeth on pinion is minimum, number of teeth on gear is maximum. Okay. So in this way, the value becomes varying. And we substitute the sigma BP value, YP value here. Consider this answer becomes 110. Then we find sigma b into y for gear. Consider this value becomes 100. Compare both the answers. So sigma b into y for pinion and sigma b into y for gear. As sigma b into y for pinion is we consider 110 and sigma b into y for gear is 100. Compare both the answers and see which product is less. So by looking this answer, we are able to judge that this 100 is less than 110. So which answer is less? That becomes the weaker in case of bending failure. So in this case, sigma b into y, this product is sigma b into y for gear, this product is less than sigma b into y for pinion. So we called as gear is weaker in bending. So we focus on gear design in case of bending. Okay. So this is called as checking of gear design in case of bending. This condition is very important. Compare the answers. Okay. Okay, so in this way we finish our beam strength calculation. Now let's see wear strength calculation. Next criteria for failure of gear tooth is wear failure. In our first lecture, we already discussed about that. Spur gear fails into two criteria, that is bending failure and wear failure. Okay, so if we consider, we already discussed about the bending failure, that is beam strength equation. Beam strength equation is totally related to bending failure, and this wear strength equation is related to wear failure. This wear strength equation is Fw is equal to dP into B into Q into K. In first case, in beam strength equation, we check how to find out which is weaker, whether pinion is weaker or gear is weaker. For that purpose, we take the product of sigma p into y for pinion and sigma b into y for gear. We find out the answers for both. We compare the answers. Then which answer is less, we identify that, and for that condition, we design for that case. Now, here always dP is put, where dP is called as pitch circle diameter of pinion. B is called as phase width, Q is called as ratio factor. The formula for ratio factor is equal to 2 times of ZP upon ZP plus ZG. For external gear pair, use this formula. If the gear pair is internal, then use 2 times ZP upon ZP minus ZG. If one gear is like this and another gear is in between this, so this gear is called as internal gear pair. Sun and planet gear is the example of this internal gear pair. For designing that type of gear, you use ratio factor Q is equal to 2 times of ZP upon ZP minus ZD. Use here minus symbol in place of plus. But if the gear is externally connected, like our regular gear pair, then use this formula 2 times ZP upon ZP plus ZD. Now this K is called as load stress factor. This K value depends on which material we prefer or choose for pinion and gear. Now according to the material, these values are available. Like load stress factor K, first is for steel pinion and steel gear, K is equal to 0.16 into BHN upon 100 bracket square. This is in Newton per mm square. For cast iron pinion and cast iron gear, if this is the pinion and this is the gear, use both material cast iron, then use this formula for calculating the K. K is equal to 0.21 into BHN upon 100 bracket square. For steel pinion and cast iron gear, or for steel gear and cast iron pinion, you use either any condition. So for that condition, K is equal to 0.18 into BHN upon 100 bracket square. So BHN is called as Brenner hardness number. That Brenner hardness number, which is the standard number which are already available in design data book for different materials. You choose that material and you directly get that BHN value from the design data book. Okay, so use that value and substitute here and find out the value of K. All these values you substitute here. Okay, one more important point is that here dP is used. Okay, here dG is not used. Understand this point. This is very important. Okay, the first criteria, that is beam strength equation. Okay, whether the gear is weaker there, okay, that is different part. If the gear is weaker in case of bending, there also you substitute dP value, that is pinion pitch circle diameter here, not gear diameter. Okay, so this is the different equation. Use this dP value only here always. So Fw is equal to dP into B into Q into K. So this is about wear strength calculation. All these values you find out. Then B is already available in terms of module. Okay, Q is calculated from here and K is calculated by either choosing any one condition and substitute all this condition here. You get this Fw value in case of module M. Why module M? Because module is not available, so you get this answer in terms of module. Then next point is related to effective load on spur gear tooth. That effective load is also indicated by using this F effective symbol. F effective, that's effective load calculation. So for reaching that effective load formula, we want to explain few terms. That is, first is tangential force, theoretical tangential force. Theoretical tangential force is Ft. Ft, we already discussed about this Ft. Ft is equal to power upon pitch line velocity B, okay, which is equal to this Tg upon dg by 2, which is equal to Tp upon dp by 2. This Tg is torque acting on the gear, dg is pitch circle diameter on the gear, then Tp is torque acting on the pinion, dp is pitch circle diameter on the pinion. Now maximum tangential force, that is Ft max, is equal to, we take this Ft as it is, but along with that Ft we take two more terms, that is Ka and Km. This Ka is called as application factor, or it is also called as service factor. And next is load distribution factor, that is Km. So I want to explain these 2 points. What is meant by application factor or service factor, and what is meant by load distribution factor. So application factor, when at the initial condition, when we start the motor or engine, this is applicable in our 2-wheeler also or 4-wheeler also. When we start engine or torque, then lot of vibrations are generated, that is called as fluctuations. That fluctuations are generated due to this maximum amount of torque which is acting at the starting of the motor or engine. So when we compare that torque in the running condition we are not feel this type of vibrations. Why? Because that running torque is also called as rated torque. So this rated torque and starting torque, if we compare, the starting torque is maximum, and if we compare that maximum torque in running torque, okay, lot of fluctuations are created when it transmits from starting torque to running torque. Okay, that fluctuations is considered by the factor which is named as application factor or service factor. So we take this Ka value to consider the fluctuations of torque. Now why this Km value is important? If we see the equation, or this is the beam strength, this is the pitch width of the gear tooth. Okay, and according to the Lewis, he assumed that load is uniformly distributed load. Okay, load is uniformly distributed load, but in real situation, this load is not uniformly distributed load. The load is somewhat greater and load is somewhat less. So due to this varying situation, if we want this into uniformly distributed load, so for that consideration we take one more factor, and that factor is called as load distribution factor, that is Km. And in this way, as we consider the more values, that is Ka and Km in along with Ft, so that tangential force is now maximum tangential force, and so it is called as Ft max, that is maximum tangential force. Okay, now this maximum tangential force which we use for calculating the effective load. So two formulas are available for calculation of effective load, and we will see that formulas in our next lecture. Thank you.